Howdy friends, welcome back to another Diablo 2 YouTube video. Want to cover basically a general overview of one of my newer characters that I've been playing. That is my level 80 Barbarian Pit Zerker. So I was really able to tie this together with this rune word that I was finally able to make. I was able to find a low rune at Hell Countess, which I believe I have a video up. Yeah, I will have. There's a video, I'll pin it somewhere. I did end up doing 300 Hell Countess runs and was able to find a low rune. So I was able to build a grief for this character, which really kind of kicked everything off. So let's just start. Thought I'd give an overview of some of the gear that I have, and then just give a little showcase. I kind of think that at level 80 is where I like to say this is, what I would call quote unquote late game. It's not end game because there's still a lot of improvements that I can make in terms of gear and, 10 levels, getting to level, even if it's like 91, 92, 95, 15 levels is still a lot of stats and skills and stuff like that. So this is where I start to think you're transitioning into what I call the late game of Diablo 2. So right out of the gate, let's just go over stats. Strength, I just have enough to wear my gear. Dexterity, I have enough to wear my gear. Everything else into vitality, pretty straightforward there. On to the what my inventory is. Like I said, I do have a grief. In terms of what the role should be, this is kind of like on the on the left side. That's the ideal. This isn't terrible. It has minus 24 to enemy poison resistance. That could be minus 25. I'm pretty close with the damage. I think it's 340 to 400. So I'm 7 off of the plus damage. What else do we have here? Increased attack speed is kind of 40 would be awesome. And then I think, let me see what else we got. 15 to mana after each kill, which I only have 2. Oh no, that is fine. 10 to 15 life after each kill. So I have plus 15 life, which is pretty good. So like I said, it's not awesome, but I was really happy with the minus to enemy poison resistance, because in my opinion, that's going to be, one of the biggest bangs for the buck, because you have that 35% chance to cast a level 15 Venom on striking, which is really going to deal all of the damage. So let me get this out of here. So that is going to be my main weapon. This is kind of the driving force behind this build. Up here we have our Shaco. I stole this from my sorceress. That's why, Bexno source. That's kind of the main character that I do a lot of my farming with until now. On to the amulet. This is just kind of like it has 4 resistances and some magic find, which is really good. So basically the whole point of this build is to try and maximize gold find and magic find. So you're going to be killing elite packs, specifically single target, those unique, super unique monsters. You're going to want to really bump up that magic find. Then on my offhand, the Blade of Alibaba. This is awesome. 200% extra gold for monsters, 80% chance of getting magic items based on level. 2 open sockets. Ideally, if this was kind of like what I would, quote unquote end game, I would put 2 ists into this and really bump that up. Same with the Shaco. This would be ideally socketed, and I'd be able to put an ist or a perfect topaz, something like that, just to bump up that magic chance for magic find. Down here to the boots, we have the War Travelers. This is pretty standard, 33% chance for magic find, 25% run walk. You get some strength and vitality. Love to see it. For the rings, this is just Nagel ring, 20% chance magic find. I'm just trying to get my magic find up a little bit to attack rating, never hurts. Gold wrap, again, this is going to be standard for any magic find build. 73% extra gold for monsters, 30% better chance of magic find. Great. Plus the added attack speed. Really can't go wrong with that. Then we have another ring, a Dwarf Star. This is just for some extra gold find. Ideally, I'd like to have something where I could maybe get like a Raven Frost, where it's like you can't be frozen, but then of course you run the risk of, if you kill a monster, the biggest part of this is the Barbarian gold find, so you wouldn't be able to essentially re-roll for free on a frozen corpse because they explode. Then for the gloves, just to kind of top it all off, we have Chance Guards. Plus 25 to attack rating, never hurt, 200% extra gold for monsters, 35% chance magic find, just to kind of tie it all together. Then for my offhand, just some caster stuff, just to kind of boost things up, so I can, get my little war cries out a little quicker. So I have a wizard spike and a suicide branch. So nothing too crazy there. My offhands, pretty happy with. This is really where I could add some ists here and, some additional things. Oh, and I almost forgot. For my, the body, I'm doing a Wealth Dusk Shroud. It's Lemco tier, not super crazy, but it's really going to be that extra mana after kill is going to go a long way. 100% chance of getting magic to magic find, 300% chance for gold. It's kind of a no-brainer for this type of build. Then for my charms, I have some all res. I have 35. This is just a Geed's Fortune. I don't have any Sunder Charms because you don't really benefit from it. I mean, I guess I could have like a Poison Sunder Charm, which would be kind of nice, but I haven't really found a need for it just yet. And then just some additional, you know, some toxic small charms, all res, various resistance and stuff like that. Back over to my attributes. So this is in hell right now, so my resistances are okay, not too crazy. Definitely just wanted to be in the positive. That was, you know, there's definitely some room there with charms and stuff like that. But then to the advanced stats, this is kind of the you know, bread and butter of this account. So over 1,000 extra gold for monsters. That's going to be awesome. This basically just pours gold every time you kill something. And then over 400, so 423% chance magic find. Again, if I were to have some, you know, perfect topaz here, 2 ists here, this could easily bump over to 500, but 400% for now has been just fine. Yeah, 43% increased attack speed. I'd like that to be a little higher too, but overall, I'm okay with where this build is. Again, this is late game. This is not end game. Ideally, you know, something like an Enigma here would be awesome just to kind of get around. So off to the showcase and just kind of the play style. So this ultimately is, you know, this build, you're going to see a lot of things. It's designed, whoa, I don't want to, still talking. It is designed to do the pit. But you can also do, so if you go here, you can do the pit. I've also been having a lot of luck at the Travancore to do the High Council. And then over in Act 5, you can do the Frigid Highlands to do Thresh, Socket, and Shank, which have been a lot of fun. So, yeah, or not Thresh, Socket, the other one whose name I'm blanking on. Let's go kill him now. So, basically, to set up this character, you're going to want to do Battle Command. Ooh, I forgot to go over my skills. So here's just basically some of the war cries. This is all pretty standard. I ended up doing Blade Mastery because I have a sword, because I have a Phase Blade. 1 point in each of these. This is kind of something that I could probably add to, especially like the all resistances. That'd be really nice. You know, I could do something with like Leap Attack just for mobility. But then I just maxed out Berserk, 1 point in each. Maxed out this, 1 point in each. And then for my war cries, I maxed out Howl. Find Potion, I put a couple points in. Find Item, this is going to be, again, a pretty big driver. And then Battle Orders, just because this gives you extra life, mana, stamina. You're going to be right up in the thick of things, so any bonuses you can get would be awesome. So basically, this shouldn't be anything too crazy. When you drop in, you're going to want to do Battle Command on my offhand, Battle Command, Battle Orders, Shout, and then Howl is going to scare away everybody, all the other packs, so that you can get a clear field, and then you can basically kill the main person with Berserk, and then you're going to want to do Find Item. So after I do all of my buffs, up over 2 grand and 300, I think my damage, you know, goes up a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So this is basically what the gameplay looks like. So scare everybody away, shout, kill, Hork. Ooh, a ring. Let's see. Let's do it live. Let's see what we got. Manald. But that is basically rinse and repeat. I really didn't take too big of a hit. This holds up. You know, I can even go to a bigger mob down here. So I'll go to Shank. Really just kind of walking through, like no trouble whatsoever. This is players 3. Unfortunately, you can't do a Hork there just because the corpse goes away. This is player 3, but I've had a lot of luck. You know, if you want to do players 1 just to get things a little easier, nothing crazy with those. You can do players 1 pretty easily if you want to do something a lot quicker. I usually do level players 3 for, you know, killing those 2 or doing the pit. This does players 3 really well. Something like the Travancore, I usually try and do players 1 just because there's a lot going on and you can get hit in a lot of different ways. So I usually just try and keep that to players 1. But overall, I've been having a ton of fun with this, really just switching up the content. You know, I could do something like LK runs or just terrorize runs, but my whole mantra with this game is do what you enjoy doing. If you could do, you know, the same 4 clicks 5 million times, you know, and get the best gear, that would be very, very boring, especially because I'm playing a single player character where the maps are already generated. You know, you got to mix it up a little bit. So that is really it. That's kind of the overview of what I've been up to. I like doing these little showcases just to kind of try and, you know, give you a little bit of insight into what I've been doing in between some of these longer runs. But let me know down below, what do you think I should upgrade out of this? I'm really curious to see what you think I should swap out. Again, I'm newer to this character. I haven't made one of these in a very long time, so any suggestions would be more than welcome. If you're liking this video, a like would go a really long way. And if you're really liking this content, think about subscribing. That would be super awesome. But I'm going to end this one here. I really appreciate all the love and support I've gotten so far, and I will see you guys on the next one.